Well, hey everybody, welcome back to HawksDIY. Well, another project has reared its ugly head. My fuel gauge has been intermittent while I've been out there fishing, so I thought I'd look at it today. And lo and behold, I found that on the sending unit side, the wiring back here, there's a connection and it's bad. So it's going to require replacing some wiring probably. They look pretty weather cracked and pretty bad shape. So that's going to be the next project. And so we're just going to dig in, and it's going to require taking these seats out. And then this here section comes up out of here. So it's going to be a pretty big little project. So stick around, let's see how it goes. Well, to get started, I had to move my boat over here to the side yard. Jeff went fishing, so I had to let him out from under the carport. But to get started today, first I told you we're going to work on this wiring for the fuel gauge. It's been intermittent. But we're also going to come up here and I installed that lithium battery in my rod locker here. And let me show you what I've got going on with that. If you haven't seen my last video on that, it was relocating the lithium battery. Go check that out. It's a great video. But it's just, I think it's a great idea for having power to your graph up front. But here is what what I ended up having to do. And I hope you guys can see this, but basically that's where the lithium battery is installed. And I've got it velcroed into position, and I've tested it out on the lake, and it is passed the security test. It doesn't go anywhere. It's in there solid. So now the next step is I'm going to install the charger, and as you can see, I've got another spot here where I can mount the charger on the top so all the terminals won't be sandwiched together. And then I'm going to run the power cord out to here to the front at the bow, and I'm going to run it out to here. That way when I get in from fishing, I just have to plug it in. So I'm going to be working on that as well as the fuel gauge. So that's the plan. I'm going to start on this right now, but let me get down from the boat, and then I'll show you real quick something about the charger. Okay, here's the charger that comes with the Dakota lithium battery, and it has these ends on here where you can put up on the terminals to charge, and then it's got just a regular AC cable comes out of here. So what I ended up doing was I took those off of there and I installed these terminals on the end. They'll go directly on the battery. And then I had to go and buy more nuts and washers, because I'm going to try to do both batteries, but I'm going to install this one on the front, and then like I said, we'll we'll run the AC cable out to here. That way all you gotta do is plug it in when you get done fishing. You don't have to get in your rod locker. So anyway, that's the plan, so let's get going. All right, success. I got the charger installed, so check it out. There's the where I'll be able to plug it in up here at the bow right there. And then let's take a gander at the goods down here. So she's all wired up. I got the charger coming in. I got her mounted up there above the lithium battery. And then of course, you know, the power line's already going out. But yeah, go check out my previous video on this install. It's pretty cool how this all turned out. So hope if you ever want to install a 10 or 12 inch graph up front, this is the way to do it to provide power. So anyway, I guess we'll just move on to the fuel gauge now. Alright, fellers and fellettes, just got back to this project on the fuel gauge several days later. But I've got a quick update on the battery situation on the front graph. So we'll dive right on into that, and I'll show you what I discovered. This battery I installed down here, and I'm sure it's probably dark, but hang tight and I'll get the light turned on here. But here's the battery, and as I mentioned, it passed the as far as being securely fastened in the rod locker. This is the starboard rod locker. It passed that test. Everything's fine with that. The problem is longevity. This battery is only good on this 12-inch Solix for 5.5 hours of continuous run time. So the battery's dead after 5.5 hours. So I'm underpowered for the graph that I'm trying to run. And so this is a Gen 3 graph. Well, here's my brother's, and it's a Gen 1. Here's the difference. My brother's using the same battery and he's not having that issue. But the reason is because Jeff's graph, it runs at 2.5 amps. That's the current draw at 12 volts. 2.5 amps, 2.5 amps. But the new Gen 3 runs at 2.9 amps. That's the current draw. So I'm assuming that as the technology evolved, they packaged more technology in the newer graphs, and therefore it's got more current draw. So that's why that battery down there is not going to work. It's a 25 amp hour battery, and so I'm going to have to go up to the next size up, which is going to be a 46 amp hour is the next size up. Now that should get me right around the 11-hour range of continuous graph time. So that's my hope, because I've got to be in that range for, for tournaments. You got that graph's got to be able to run 8 hours continuously. So we're not there. We're at 5.5. So, and that's a 25 amp hour lithium battery. So that's a tip for you guys running these graphs. When you get into the larger screens, you're going to need more power. It's just that simple. So anyway, let's get started on this fuel gauge, and I'm going to have to take the seats out, and so we're going to get started on that next, and hopefully get this thing, you know, to where it's dependable. You know, it's been so intermittent because of the short, and so we're going to get in there today and hopefully get that short fixed, and have that off the list. Well, I got the seats out, and so now I got to take all these screws out here, and they're real long screws too, and take those out, and then this whole section comes right up out of here. So that's going to be the next step. I didn't even bother taking that plate off, because if this is all coming out, there's no sense in taking that off. Just more work, you know. So there's my center console there, and then I just set the seats on the side that they belong, and that way I'll know which one goes where. So we're just moving right along. By the way, I'm going to order new seats, new center console and new seats. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not, but I'm going to have some new ones made. I think LeBrock makes them. In fact, I think my seat even has a LeBrock tag on it, if I remember right. One of these seats, yeah, here, right here, see? It says LeBrock right there. So that's probably who I'll just have order them from. So let's get this section out of here.
What are we doing?
All right, guys, we're getting ready to take out this section, and I got Jeff here to help us, or help me. But it's got to slide up and out this way, Jeff.
It's got to go out that way.
Yeah, so if you want to get on this end, and I can get on that end, and we'll
hang on.
We'll get it out of here. I guess we could probably just set it on the sidewalk.
Yeah, the grass is fine too. Well, that might be
Well,
wet.
I don't want it in the grass, because...
So we're taking this thing out.
Yeah, so...
Well, hang on.
Here, what are you doing?
We're taking this out because he's got a problem with his sending unit, wire. So you gotta fix your wires, don't you?
Jeez.
Huh?
Would you put the camera down so we can get this out of here?
What's wrong with you?
Well, you're impeding progress.
No, I'm not. I'm over here helping you.
Come on now.
Don't you want some help, don't you?
I don't know, but that's got cameras gonna blow over like that.
Help me.
All right, let me lift this end up to you.
You want to put a rug right here? Stop.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea.
Oh, it'd be a great idea.
A towel or something like that. Sorry for the delay, guys. We got to get our act together here.
Yeah, never prepared.
Prepared?
Prepared.
I'm always prepared. I'm just not prepared.
Prepared? You're praying this is going to come out of here?
Yeah.
Without...
I don't think you need that, Jeff.
You don't want to go in demolition mode? Yeah, we do.
No, I think that's a little overkill. Now I can't lift it over the
you can
tallage.
You can lift it up.
Man,
see?
You crazy person.
It's aluminum.
Now shove all that
aluminum.
There you go. All right. Now hold that, and then let me get this side.
Well, yeah.
Pulled out a little. Okay, hold that. Here we go, fellas and fillettes. All right, you'll just have to hold it there. I can get down safely so I don't bust my kahunas. All right, poofers. Let's just set it on the sidewalk. There we go. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
It's dirty down in there.
All right, so I guess it's time to show you guys the sending unit and the wires I'm going to have to fix. So that's next. All right, let's take a closer look. Here's the sending unit right here. And here is the 12-volt wiring going to it. Now for my initial inspection, it looks like the wiring is fine, the hot and the ground. It's that they put these crappy connectors on it, and that's where the short is. So I'll have to resolder that, or I'll have to solder it, I should say, and heat shrink it. The sending unit's fine. I'm not going to disturb that. But just looking at it, here is the inlet right here coming from your fuel filler. And then here is the out. That's the fuel line out going to the bulb to the big molder. So anyway, that's what we're looking at. It looks like it was manufactured June of '07. Capacity 50 gallons. So that's pretty cool. So there we go. I'm going to rewire this, and then we'll have this thing fixed. So right now I could show you what it's doing, but I'll have to switch the power on in the back engine bay. And let me do that real fast so that y'all can see what it's doing. Okay, here we go. So when I turn the key on, this fuel level should come on. And it does. It makes a liar out of me. So the other day it wouldn't come on. But I discovered by moving that wire that the short was right there on those connections. So anyway, looks like I got quite a few gallons of fuel in there, so that's cool. All right, I got the hot wire twisted up together there, and then I'm going to use some solder and the soldering gun over there, and I'm going to go ahead and solder this connection. And then you can see I've already got the heat shrink on the wire, and once I'm done soldering, that'll just slide right up on there. And then I'll use the heat gun over there to heat that up, and then it'll shrink. And so that's how I'm going to do the wiring. And so I gotta finish this up and then tug it, tidy it back up under there the way it was. And so let me get this part of it done, and we'll see how it works. I'm pretty sure it was the ground wire that was causing the problem, because whenever I took the connections apart, the ground was the loosest connection, and it was on this side. So I'm pretty sure that's what was causing the problem. It wasn't grounding good, and it'd short out. So let me get this done, and then we'll see how everything looks. All right, I got the hot and the ground. Got all that wiring done. I got it soldered, heat shrinked. I got some electrician's tape on this end. And then I'm just going to have to tidy that back up. I got some some zip ties, cable ties down here, so we're going to get this button back up, and then I'm going to check these fittings here just to make sure that they're tight, and then we're ready to put the seats back in here. But first we're going to test this, so let's go ahead and do that next. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Looky there. Again. Again. Looks good. All right, I got the wiring all tidy. Got it zip tied with those cable ties, and so that job's done. Now I got to put everything back together, which is never the fun part. But anyway, I was looking and I counted how many holes are in this piece here, and just determined they had 13, or I think it's 13 screws, and so I laid them all out here. That I've only got 11 of them, so I'm going to have to go to Ace Hardware or somewhere like that, see if I can get a couple more of these. That way I got the right number of screws in the base there for the seats. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully get that in tonight. I think I'm going to do that, and then make a run tomorrow and get those screws, and then I want to put all this stuff back. So I guess I'll talk at you tomorrow. Okay, well, I got the screws yesterday. I actually, after I quit yesterday, I went to Ace Hardware and I got the screws needed. So got the seats all back in, and you know, I replaced all these screws that I think I needed 3, ended up being. So I got all of those replaced and got that taken care of. Of course, got the seats in. I think I got some armor all over there. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe these seats down. And so I'm also gonna go and order my new battery for this front graph. So I'm gonna get that done, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. You know, I'll let you know how that goes on that. And I guess the biggest takeaway on this video is don't use these cheap connectors on your sending unit, because they're gonna fail. I mean, it's just how it is. So always solder those lines and heat shrink them, and you'll probably never ever have to worry about it, unless like you have a problem with the sending unit or something like that. But that'd be my advice, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So this brings this project to a close, and so I'm looking forward to the next projects coming up. Never know when they're going to be. I try to just tackle them when I can. Sometimes, you know, I don't have a video for a couple weeks. It's not that I quit YouTubing or anything like that. It's just I haven't got a project or got other things going on. So anyway, like, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And until the next project, I guess go do something.